Up next on BGSU Brain Game, it is the Toledo School for the Arts versus Celina. This is going to be a bodacious brain brawl. Only one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Toledo School for the Arts versus Celina. Let's meet our team, starting with Toledo School for the Arts. Tell us who you are.
My name is Rocco. I'm a senior. On my left, I have Skylar, also a senior. And on my right, I have Ben, who is a junior.
And who is your coach?
Our coach is Ken Burchett.
All right. Well, welcome to you. Celina, tell us who you are.
I'm Craddock. I'm a sophomore. To my left is Andrew. He's a junior. And to my right is Gage. He's a sophomore.
And your coach is?
Hal Hoover.
All right, well, welcome to both of our teams. We're going to start things off in our toss-up round. All questions in this round are worth 10 points. There is no deduction for an incorrect answer, so I think if you could probably play a little bit looser on your buzzers if you'd like. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. All right, teams, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, your toss-up round starts right now. Identify the principle of the U.S. Constitution that limits the authority vested in any person or institution and that divides government authority into the legislative, judiciary, and executive branches. That would be Celina. Craddock.
Checks and balances.
We will not accept that. TSA.
Division of government.
You're going to need to buzz in. Yes, that would be Skylar.
Yes. Division of government.
Will we accept that? We will not. Separation of powers was the specific term that we needed there. Although his bid for the 2016 presidency failed, this former U.S. Air Force pilot landed on his feet when President Donald Trump named him Secretary of Energy. Who is this 47th governor of Texas? That would be Celina. Gage.
Rick Perry.
Rick Perry is correct. In the online game Clash of the Clans, what name is given to the dark troop member that is a fast, cheap, and relatively weak-ranged flying unit? That would be Celina. Andrew.
Minion.
Minion is correct, yes. The right and left sides of the heart are divided by a thick wall. What is it called? That would be TSA. Rocco.
Ventral cavity.
Incorrect. Celina, would you like to steal? They say no. Septum is what we were looking for there. Septum. In the sentence, the troupe of actors traveled the continent with their presentation of the drama Noah. What is the correct spelling of the word troupe? That would be TSA. Rocco.
T-R-O-U-P-E.
Correct. Complete the subtitle name of J.M. Barrie's play surrounding the adventures of the Darling children in Never Neverland, Peter Pan or blank. That would be The Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up. This author created the character Stephen Dedalus in his novel A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Name this author who also wrote Finnegan's Wake and Ulysses. James Joyce is what we were looking for there. Which leg of the peripheral nervous system is responsible for conveying commands to the muscles and glands? That would be TSA. Skylar.
Somatic.
Incorrect. Celina, would you like to steal? They say no. Efferent is what we were looking for there. What type of chemical bond holds together the atoms in a molecule of CH4? That would be Celina. Craddock.
Single bond.
We cannot accept that. TSA, would you like to steal? That would be Ben. TSA.
Covalent.
Covalent, yes. Of the first 5 planets in order from the Sun, which one has the largest diameter? That would be Celina. Craddock.
Jupiter.
Jupiter is correct. Ocean life is divided into groups depending on where they live. What are the life forms called that are free swimming? That would be nekton is what we were looking for there. If you've ever searched your location online, your physical address online, you may have viewed the satellite images sent back to Earth by this fleet of remote sensing satellites launched in 1972. Identify the 7-letter acronym for this fleet. Landsat is what we were looking for there. A group of antigens in the red blood cells known as the Rh factor was discovered in 1940 by K. Landsteiner and A.S. Wiener when they were working in the lab with rabbits. And what type of, that would be end of the round, primate, they were rhesus monkeys is what we're looking for there. Let's take a look at our score. Very, very close competition. We have Toledo School for the Arts at 20 points and Celina at 30 points. Very, very tight competition. You're going to want to stick around. Why? Because our head-to-head round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. It is Toledo School for the Arts with 20 points and Celina with 30 points. A very, very, very close competition as we head into our head-to-head round. And it goes a little something like this. All questions in this round are worth 10 points. There's a total of 15 questions and 2 minutes and 30 seconds to answer those questions. Teams may confer as long as they want in this round. Here's the twist though. One team stays, the other team goes. That's right, one goes to isolation while the other answers the questions, and then we flip-flop and we do it all over again. And at the end of the round, we bring both of our teams back and we will reveal our scores. All right, Celina, you are at 30 points. That means you will be sticking around. That means Toledo School for the Arts, you're heading to isolation. All right, Celina, are you ready? All right, your 2 minutes and 30 seconds starts right now. After having served in the Mexican-American War, which former general known as Old Fuss and Feathers ran for the U.S. presidency in 1852 on the Whig Party ticket? Go ahead.
Buchanan.
Incorrect. Winfield Scott. Wicket, bails, and stumps are terms associated with what sport?
Croquet.
Incorrect. Cricket. The pulmonary artery exits what chamber of the human heart?
Pass.
Right ventricle. On how many hills was the city of Rome built?
4.
7. It is the world's tallest tree. By what common name is the sequoia sempervirens?
Redwood.
Correct. Francisco traveled to Paris to visit his grandmere. What family member did he go visit?
Grandmother.
Correct. In what part of your anatomy would you find your femoral artery?
Leg.
Will we accept that? We will not. We need to specifically thigh. What part of speech names a quality, idea, or event?
Noun.
Correct. Brazil is the largest country in South America. What is Brazil's capital?
Brasilia.
Correct. Coal, gas, and oil are examples of what type of fuel?
Fossil fuels.
Correct. Under what pseudonym did Samuel Longhorn Clemens publish the 1892 novel, The American Claimant?
Pass.
Mark Twain. What piece of farm machinery is used to compress hay into units that can be easily hauled and stored?
Baylor.
Correct. To what Iowa city should you travel in order to visit a statue of the world's largest bullhead fish?
Des Moines.
Incorrect. Crystal Lake. A caldera is found at the top of what type of landform?
Volcano.
He buzzed in time? He did. And you said?
Volcano.
You are correct. That is the end of the head-to-head round for Celina. That means you are going to isolation. And let's bring back in Toledo School for the Arts. All right, welcome back. Are you ready for your head-to-head round?
Yes.
All right, your 2 minutes and 30 seconds starts right now. After having served in the Mexican-American War, which former general known as Old Fuss and Feathers ran for the U.S. presidency in 1852 on the Whig Party ticket?
Pass.
Winfield Scott. Wickets, bails, and stumps are terms associated with what sport?
Cricket.
Cricket is correct. The pulmonary artery exits what chamber of the human heart?
Ventral cavity.
Will we accept that? We cannot accept that. Right ventricle specifically. On how many hills was the city of Rome built?
2.
Incorrect. 7. It is the world's tallest tree. By what common name is the Sequoia sempervirens more widely known?
Redwood.
Correct. Francisco traveled to Paris to visit his grandmere. What is the family member what family member did he go to visit?
Grandmother.
Correct. In what part of your anatomy would you find your femoral artery?
Femur.
Incorrect. Thigh. What part of speech names a quality, idea, or event?
Noun.
Correct. Brazil is the largest country in South America. What is Brazil's capital?
Brasilia.
Correct. Coal, gas, and oil are examples of what type of fuel?
Fossil.
Correct. Under what pseudonym did Samuel Longhorn Clemens publish his 1892 novel, The American Claimant?
Twain.
Will we accept Twain? Yes. What piece of farm machinery is used to compress hay into units that can be easily hauled and stored?
Baler.
Baylor is correct. That is the end of the head-to-head round now for the Toledo School of the Arts. It is now time to bring back in Celina, and we'll reveal our scores to our teams. Welcome back. All right, we're going to start with our Celina. Let's see where you stand. Celina is at 100 points, and Toledo School for the Arts, you are at 100 points. A tie game, a bodacious brain brawl indeed. You're going to want to stick around. Why? Because our category round is coming up next, where questions can be worth as much as 30 points. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. It does not get any closer than this. We are tied, TSA and Celina at 100 points as we move to our category round. In this round, the power shifts a little bit to our teams. There are 6 categories to choose from. Inside each category are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But the deductions start now. If you go for 15 and get it wrong, you lose 15, and so on. You may confer before answering or before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. All right, since we are tied, we did a coin toss, and TSA won that coin toss. You get to make the first selection.
We'll be taking more music for 15.
More music for 15. What do we call the timing or speed of the music? That will be TSA. Skylar.
Tempo.
Tempo is correct. Still in control.
More music for 10.
More music for 10 points. What do we call a person who directs a group of, that would be Celina. Craddock.
Conductor.
Conductor is correct. And Celina takes control.
More music 20.
More music for what?
20.
20. Okay. What is the lowest of the singing voices? That would be TSA. Ben.
Bass.
Bass is correct. TSA takes control.
More music for 25.
More music now for 25 points. How many flags are on a 16th note? That would be TSA. Skylar.
2.
2 is correct.
More music for 30.
More music now for 30. Finishing off this category. What vertical line on the staff separates measures? That'd be TSA. Skylar.
Bar line.
Bar line is correct. TSA still in control.
Modes of transport for 10.
Modes of transport. This is for 10 points. Charles Lindbergh's plane. TSA. Rocco.
The Spruce Goose.
Incorrect. Celina, would you like to steal? That would be Gage.
Spirit of St. Louis.
Spirit of St. Louis is correct, and Celina takes control.
Modes of transport for 15.
Modes of transport now for 15 points. The name of Columbus's largest ship. That would be Celina. Craddock.
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria is correct. Celina in control.
Modes of transport 20.
Modes of transport now for 20 points. The airplane that transports the Vice President of the United States. Celina. Gage.
Air Force One.
Incorrect. TSA, would you like to steal? That would be Rocco.
Marine One.
Incorrect. Air Force Two. Air Force Two. Celina in control.
Modes of transport 25.
Modes of transport for 25 points. The U.S. ship nicknamed Old Ironside during the War of 1812. That would be Celina. Gage.
USS Constitution.
Correct. Celina in control.
Modes of transport for 30.
Modes of transport now for 30 points. The ship on which Charles Darwin formulated his theory. That would be TSA. Ben.
The HMS Beagle.
HMS Beagle is correct. TSA takes control.
Constitutional numbers for 10.
Constitutional numbers for 10 points. The number of U.S. senators in the Senate. That would be Celina. Craddock.
100.
100 is correct. Celina takes back control.
Constitutional numbers 15.
Constitution numbers for 15. The constitutional amendment that abolished slavery. That would be Celina. Gage.
The 13th.
Incorrect. TSA, would you like to steal?
The 14th.
14th, yes.
Constitutional numbers for 20.
Constitutional numbers for 20 points. The minimum number of original states that had to ratify the U.S. Constitution. That would be TSA. Rocco.
9.
9 is correct.
Constitutional numbers for 25.
Constitutional numbers for 25 points. The constitutional amendment that gave women the right to vote. That would be Celina. Craddock.
19th.
19th is correct. Celina takes back control.
Constitution numbers 30.
Finishing off this category, constitutional numbers for 30. The minimum number of times each year that Congress is required to meet. TSA. Rocco.
2.
Incorrect. Celina, would you like to steal? They say no. It is 1 time. All right, Celina in control.
Color My World 20.
Color My World for 20 points. What color is added to a hue to create a shade? That would be Celina. Gage.
Black.
Black is correct. Celina in control.
Color My World for 15.
Color My World for 15 points. What do we call colors that are next to each other on the that would be TSA. Rocco.
Adjacent.
Will we accept that? We will not accept that. Next to each other on the color wheel. Celina, would you like to steal? That'd be Craddock.
Tertiary.
Incorrect. Analogous colors is what we were looking for specifically there. Celina, in control.
Color My World 25.
Color My World for 25 points. What do we call colors that are made by mixing a primary color with, that would be TSA. Skylar.
Secondary.
Incorrect. With a secondary color. Celina, would you like to steal? That would be Craddock.
Tertiary.
Tertiary, yes. Celina, in control, in the lead.
Color My World 10.
For 10, okay. What do we call colors that are opposite each other on? That would be TSA. Rocco.
Complementary.
Complementary colors. Yes. TSA back in control.
Color my world for 30.
Color my world now for 30 points. What do we call colors such as white, black, and gray that have very little impact? That would be Celina. Craddock.
Neutral.
Neutral is correct. Celina back in control.
Busy bees for 10.
Busy bees for 10 points. What name is given to the males in the hive? TSA. Skylar.
Drones.
Drones. Yes. TSA takes control.
Busy bees for 20.
Busy bees for 20. On what part of the bee's body is the pollen basket located? TSA. Skylar.
Leg.
Leg is correct, or hind leg. TSA still in control.
Busy bees for 15.
Busy bees for 15 points. What type of bee cleans and protects the hive and feeds the males? That would be Celina. Craddock.
The nurse.
Incorrect. TSA, would you like to steal? That would be Skylar.
Worker.
Worker is correct. TSA in control.
Busy bees for 25.
Busy bees for 25 points. Give the third stage in a bee's metamorphosis. That is the end of the round. That is a pupa, by the way. Let's take a look at our score. Still very, very tight. We have Celina at 205 points, and TSA currently in the lead with just 5 more points at 210 points. It's all going to come down to our brainstorm round, and that is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. We had to make a scoring correction at the end of that last round. Our score now stands at Toledo School for the Arts at 195 points and Celina at 235 points. Still anybody's game as we head into our brainstorm round. In this round, all questions are worth 20 points. It is a negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but there is no stealing. I repeat, no stealing in this round. All right, Celina, TSA, are you ready? 3 minutes of brainstorm starts right now. What Egyptian queen stole the hearts of Julius Caesar? That would be Celina. Craddock.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra is correct. Name the only woman to ever appear on the face of paper currency. That would be Celina. Craddock.
Martha Washington.
Correct. Which planet in our solar system has a unique moon in retrograde orbit and features a weather pattern called the Great Dark Spot? TSA. Skylar.
Jupiter.
Incorrect. Neptune. In the woodwind instrument named the flute, what term is used to designate the rounded, closed end of the flute? Crown is what we were looking for there. What presidential library, designed by I.M. Pye, opened to the public in 1979? That would be the John F. Kennedy Library. What popular Confederate general who captured Murfreesboro and Fort Pillow later won a decisive victory at Bryce's Crossroads? That would be Nathan Bedford Forrest. Although Vincent van Gogh produced an enormous number of works, his artistic career lasted only how many years? That would be 10 years. What taste sensation is located on the back of the tongue? That would be TSA. Skylar.
Bitter.
Bitter is correct. How many parts does a business letter have? 6. On May 18th, 1980, a volcano erupted in the state of Washington, killing over 50 people. Which volcano was it? That would be Celina. Gade.
Mount St. Helens.
Mount St. Helens is correct. What is the second largest planet in our solar system? That would be Celina. Craddock.
Saturn.
Saturn is correct. How many southern states seceded from the Union, causing the American Civil War? 11. This is a small garden of plants growing within a glass container. Name it. Terrarium is what we were looking for there. What is the chemical symbol for krypton? That would be Celina. Craddock.
KR.
KR is correct. The ruins of Troy are located in what country? That would be TSA. Rocco.
Greece.
Incorrect. Turkey. In what year did Washington, D.C. become that is the end of the round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Toledo School for the Arts at 175 points, and our winner with 335 points is Celina. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. Now, in the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's meet in the middle, shake hands, and we will see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.